Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where Kaktuslav continues to wow the solving world. We're going to be having a look at another Kaktuslav puzzle. I think this is 3 Kaktuslav puzzles we've done this week, if you include my solve with Michael, which appeared as a bonus video last week. This one is called Hamiltonian Killer... No, not Killer Sudoku. Hamiltonian Killer Thermo. That's what we've got to do today. And you can see this, well, I suppose it's not, is it Sudoku? It seems to say, I think it's a Latin square without having the 3x3 boxes, I think. So we've still got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row and column, but there aren't any 3x3 boxes, I think. And there's some rule about how we're going to visit all of these cages that sounds brilliant. It sounds brilliant to me. It's got 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty. I found it on Logic Masters. The comments are fantastic, and several of you have recommended that we have a go at this. So that is what we are going to do. And I will read you the rules in a moment or two's time. What do I have to mention before that day? Well, we're streaming tomorrow. I will mention that. 10 PM UK time. Love to have your company if you're free. We're going to be back visiting the Blueprints Mansion, as requested. So, as I say, that'll happen tomorrow evening. Other than that, the big news at the moment is, of course, what's going on over on Patreon, where there's this competition that's been running since the 1st of October. The Skunkworks sort of pack. It's an enormous pack. Extra bytes. These are all 5x5 puzzles. But don't think you're being shortchanged, because there are 68 of them. And they have been set by some wonderful, wonderful constructors as well. But I mean, there can't be many constructors in the Skunkworks who haven't featured a puzzle in this pack. And this is probably, I don't think I've refreshed this, so let's reload it. 1555. And okay, I know why that hasn't gone up much. It's because my computer turned itself off. And when I turned it on again about an hour ago, it presumably will have refreshed then. So unfortunately, that wasn't the actual difference from yesterday's video. Look at this. We're up to nearly 300 people who've solved all 68 puzzles. It's incredible. Incredible. Well done to everybody who's getting involved. Oh, look, updated 37 minutes ago. So that must be when I turned my computer on today. Or back on. Now, what else? What else can I tell you about? Is there anything else going on? Birthdays. Oh, yes. I must do the birthdays. We have got to say happy birthday over in Poland to Victor. Victor, you turned 25 today. I think you've been watching for a couple of years, and you might wonder how I know that. Well, it's because your brother, I'm going to say Mateus? Mateus? Is that how you... It looks like, it begins with TY, which in English, but I don't think that's pronounced I think it's Mateus. I'm going to go with Mateus. I hope I am not butchering any. If there is any likelihood of me butchering pronunciation, please in your emails tell me exactly how I should speak. But Victor, I hope you have a great 25th birthday today, and I hope that the chocolate cake is good. And there's going to be controversy over the next birthday as well. Ian, you've turned 31 today, and I know this because your wife, I'm going to say Kerry. I'm going to say it's probably a Welsh pronunciation, but it could even be Cherry, it could be Seri, it could be Siri. I'm not sure, but I think Kerry is the most likely. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. The two of you both watch every night, and you've even started getting into cryptic crosswords. That is fantastic news. Everybody should get into cryptic crosswords. And many happy returns, Ian. I hope the chocolate cake is good today. Next, Nora, who some of you may know better as Long Way to Tipperary, an absolutely fantastic member of our community and somebody who's been just so supportive of Mark and me over the years. So Long Way, thank you. Well, thank you for everything you do. And I hope you have an absolutely brilliant birthday today. And I hope the chocolate cake is splendid and, of course, properly iced. And then finally, we're going to go to Edmond I think it's a small city in Oklahoma, where Javier, you turned 20 today. And I know this because your girlfriend Alessandra wrote to us. to tell us that you watch every day. And I think the two of you have been together since you were both 16. So Javier, I hope you have a great birthday today. I hope the chocolate cake is good, of course. And thank you for watching. Cracking the Cryptic. Thank you all for watching Cracking the Cryptic. Presuming that you are, which you must be, if you see what I mean. But anyway, with all that said and done, let's have a look at Hamiltonian Killer Thermo. Hamiltonian, that isn't a reference to the musical, is it? That must be some sort of mathematical reference. But I don't know it. So I will rely on the comments to enlighten me about what a Hamiltonian thing is. But anyway, what have we got to do in this puzzle? We have to place the digits 1 to 9 exactly once in each row and each column of the grid. So it's a bit like normal Sudoku, but there's no 3x3 boxes, as we said before. Then we draw a directed path that moves orthogonally between cell centres and visits every cell of the grid exactly once. Each of the 27 cages can be entered by the path at most once, i.e. the path must visit all cells of a cage in a single continuous run before leaving it. Now, I know that there is a logic puzzle that has that principle. I think it's called Country Road. So if you're good at Country Road puzzles, you're going to be a natural at this one. The path acts as a thermometer with respect to cage totals. As the path moves away from its starting cell, the sums of the cages it visits must strictly increase. Digits may not repeat within a cage. I mean, it's a fantastic rule set. So there are 27 cages. And so the top valued cage will have to have a value, the sum of the digits, say this one is the top one, the value of that one will be greater than all other 26 cages. And if the next one down was this one, this would be bigger than the next 25 cages, if you see what I mean. So let's say that added up to 35. That one could add up to 34. And then the next one down could add up, couldn't add up to 34. It could add up to any lower number, providing there were enough cages of lower value. I suppose you could put 1 in there. I don't know if there's another single cell cage. That's the only one I'm seeing as a quick scan of the grid. So if that was a 1. Now actually, if that was a 1, you couldn't put a 2 in the grid, could you? That's quite interesting. Anyway, I'm starting to think about solving. I mustn't do that. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. I've just had a thought here, you know. I've just had this is a weird thought, and I apologise for having it. But I have had a weird thought. Let me, sorry, I need to think about this, because this might be total and utter rubbish. But there is a triangular number. I want to say it's around 27. I think it's 28 though. That roughly equates with the total for a Sudoku, a whole Sudoku. What am I talking about? Good question. Good question. Well, okay. Let me share with you a secret, and then we're going to have to do some maths. And I warn now. What I'm going to do for the next few minutes might be nothing to do with how you solve the puzzle. But I just want to think about it for a moment, because I've seen this cell. And unless I'm missing a trick, I think there is only one single cell in the puzzle. And that's made me think about whether or not we are meant to be thinking about the cage total here. Because we're told there are... Anyway, look, what am I wittering on about? Okay, I know what the sum of that row of the puzzle is. Because I know a secret about Sudoku. It's something I share with only my very favourite people. But if you're watching this video, of course you're one of my favourite people. So I'm going to share with you the secret of Sudoku, which is that every Sudoku row and every Sudoku column contains the numbers 1 to 9 once each because of the rules. And those digits sum to 45. Now that means that this puzzle the digits in it sum to 405, 9 lots of 45. Actually, I had a horrible thought then. I suddenly thought, no, I mean, it was a stupid thought, but I suddenly thought there are nine rows, and there are 9. I mean, place the digits 1 to 9 suggested there were 9, but I had a sudden moment where I thought, oh, hang on. No, but okay, so there are 9 rows. 9 times 45 is 405. Now, what is it 28, the triangular number? Ah, goodness, how do you sum triangular numbers when they get big? What you have to do is pair them up, don't you? So what do I mean by that? Well, if we're trying to add all of the numbers from 1 to 28, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 all the way through 24 plus 25 plus 26 plus 27 plus 28, the way you do that, I think, quickly is you take the biggest number and the smallest number and you add them together. So 28 plus 1 is 29, and then you say, okay, there are 14 pairs of 29, aren't there? Because we're going to have 28 plus 1, that's 29, then you're going to have 27 plus 2, that's 29, then you're going to have 26 plus 3, etc. So you can just make them into sort of pairs that are up to 29, and there should be 14 of them. So now I have to do 14, oh bobbins, now I've got to do 14 times 29 in front of people, and that's 14 times 29, 58, 116. So it's 116 plus 290. Yeah, that's 400. So that's what I thought. I knew it was close. It's 406. 406. Now, why am I doing this? Well, it feels to me there's an issue, and there might not be, but there might be. There are 27 cages here. Sorry, I need to try and articulate this better. I have noticed that you cannot have both a 1 cage and a 2 cage, because there is this single cell here. That could contain a 1 or a 2, but whichever it contained, the other of 1 and 2 could not appear as a sum in this puzzle. So I could do 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 all the way through to 28, or I can do 2 plus 3 plus 4 all the way through to 28. And if I do so, don't I have to do 2? Hang on, am I going mad? Does that mean that's... I'm so sorry if this is totally and utterly obvious to you and you've all written 2 in the top left-hand corner of this puzzle straight away, and you're thinking, why is he such an idiot? I don't know. I don't know why my brain is such an idiot, but I don't see how that is not a 2. Because if it's a 1... how are we going to make the grid add up? If it's a 1, oh no, we could. No, we could. If it's a 1, and then the highest cage, because then I'm missing out a 2, aren't I, from the 408 triangular number. So I'm at 404, and to make the grid add up, I could increase the biggest number from 28 to 29. Right, so I don't know what this number is, I don't think. I think it's a 1 or a 2. And it's either... okay. So the biggest number in this puzzle, the biggest cage total... So if it was that cage that's the biggest cage total, that either adds up to 28 or to 29, I think. And this is probably not how you're meant to do the puzzle at all, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just got distracted because as I was doing the example, I suddenly realised there was only one cage that could contain one of the digits 1 or 2. And of course, missing out a 1 or a 2 from a triangular number is really important. It is. Anyway, let's go back. What's the rule of the puzzle? We've got to do country road. So let's draw a line in the grid. So how does the country road? We're going to visit every cell, aren't we? So, oh, hang on though. Hang on. Let's be careful here. Yeah, we're going to visit every cell. But we don't know, well, do we know that that is a start then now? Maybe that has to be a start. Yeah, but it does, doesn't it? Because if this wasn't the start, what we've worked out is that let's say this cell, this domino contained the start of the path. Then this cage is going to contain the lowest value along the path, and that the lowest value this could be would be a 1-2 pair, which is 3, and then we'd be adding 3, and then the next one would be a 4, the next one would be a 5 at an absolute minimum. And we know that by the time we hit the top value, we'd have absolutely broken all of the rules of mathematics, because the top 2 cages would be a 28 and a 29. And that's going to take us way over the 405 that is the maximum value of the grid. So I do know, this is really interesting, this is fascinating. So that is the start of the path. Definitely. Now if the path went that way, and this was a 1, that would break the puzzle. So if this is a 1, the path has to go down. Why do I say it would break the puzzle? Because the second cage, if it goes this way, this is a 1, the minimum value of this would be 5, which is missing out too many of the numbers in the triangular sequence. So the top numbers are going to be sort of 28, 29, 30, and we're going to break the 405 again. So if this is a 1, we have to go down. And that would be a 1, I think. So we get a 1 there and a 1 there. In fact, it would go 1, 2, 1. This would have to be a 3 cage. Anyway, so we've worked out where the start is. Now, let me just think about this, because what I was going to start doing, and I'm not sure this is valid, I was going to start using the corners. But what would happen if that was the end of the path? Actually, this particular cell can't be the end of the path. Because if that was the end of the path, if I read the rules correctly, I have to enter this cage. Let's say I enter the cage there. And then I have to consume every single cell in the cage before the path ends. And you can see I can't do that. I can't enter this shape, travel to all the cells in it, and then end on this cell. It just doesn't work. You can't do it. So that is, I think that is a corner of the path then. But hang on. What would happen? Look at this shape. You can never cut into this shape at a halfway point, because once you enter a shape, a cage I should say, once you enter a cage, you have to visit every cell in that cage, because that's the rules of the puzzle, and you can't re-enter the cage. You can't start doing this. So if you did do that, you could go that way, but then these cells would never be visited, and you could go this way, but then these cells would never be visited. So I think, right, so the path is going to end at an end. It could end in one of those cells. Forgive me if it does. I'm just trying to understand this. because it doesn't, obviously, it doesn't have to be in this one. It could be in that one. I think it's unlikely to be in that. No, it can't be in that one, in fact, because we know there are 27 cages. So we know the top cage is either 28 or 29. I can't make those 3 digits add up to 28. The maximum they could add up to would be 24. So we must visit all of these cages. We have to visit all the cells in them, and then the ending might be here of the actual path. We don't know that yet, but all of these we can do this. I'm not quite sure about these ones. This one that looks like a saucepan. We'll worry about that in a moment. Now, is it the same for a domino? It must be the same for a domino, mustn't it? Yeah, it is the same, because let's say this was the final cell on the path. We still have to visit this cell, so we'd have to do that, and then that would be the final cell. So we have visited both cells in the domino. So all the dominoes... This is such a great puzzle already. I mean, I haven't got a clue how it works, really, but I've done some thingies. Now, the same is going to be true of the saucepan, isn't it? The problem with the saucepan is, where is the last cell in the saucepan? Now, that is not a sentence I thought I would say in today's video, but that is the relevant question, because, I mean, that seems to me to be a valid. I mean, all 3 of those have to be. That has to be part of the path. But what would happen if that was the final cell of the path? Then it would do that. But if this was the final cell of the path, it would do that. So I don't think I don't have a way of really showing this. I mean, okay, this can't be the end of the path, because the path would have to branch. So that, I think, is valid. So it's a bit like this one, actually. Yeah, we're going to have to decide where the end of the path is. Now, if it was here, the path would do that and then drop down here. If it was here, it would turn right there. So again, this one in the bottom right is ambiguous. This is ambiguous. This one, I haven't got a clue what's going on. So it's going to have to do that. It's going to have to do that. It can't then turn, because it would never pick up these 2 cells. So it must go into the corner there. Oh, so this one is not ambiguous. I'm surprised. I don't believe that conclusion. I'm going to rethink that. If that... No, that can't be the final. No, actually, that one is not ambiguous. That is very strange, isn't it? Right, so that means... This... Oh no, that could be the end of the path. This is... You have to be very careful with this. It'd be really easy to make a logical deduction that isn't valid here. Alright, I'm going to try something else then. What I'm going to try is noting exactly what I did here. This cannot contain the end of the path. So I think I can extend that there. A domino can't contain the end of the path, because we know that the top end of the path is either a 28 or a 29 cage. So that must extend. That must extend. We can't make the path hit itself. So that's... all of this is forced, I think. Don't know whether that one goes that way or that way. Oh, bobbins, now I don't know what to do. What about... I know that could be the end of the path. Careful, Simon. So this is the start of the path. I've had another idea. I've had another idea. There's a lot of dominoes up here and I want to count them, but I'm not going to do that yet. I just want to look at the path for a bit longer. Can I say anything sensible about the path? Oh. Nah, nearly. Nearly. I noticed something here, look. It's definitely not true. If that L there, let's say that doesn't contain the end of the path. If this doesn't contain the end of the path, then we have to extend both ends of it. So this end is definitely going up, isn't it? But now this end here can't go up as well, or we'd create a loop. So that would have to go there. And now that would... Aha, got you. Got it. Okay, that's beautiful. Right. So now, I still don't know where the other end of the path is. But I do know it's down here somewhere. It's either exactly in that L or it's exactly there. Let me explain that again, now I understand it. So, what I'm saying is, if the end of the path is not that cell or that cell, which are two possibilities obviously, let's say it's not that in either of those two cells, then this has to continue, so it goes up. This can't go up, so it'd have to go there. And now that has become the end of the path. It can't go anywhere. So I now know that the other end of the path to this one, I'll use a different colour because I don't know where it is either there, there, or there. They are the three possible endings positions of the path. Nearly. No, it doesn't work. I was then going to say, but I know that the final cage, if you like, is either a 28 or a 29 cage, and they're four-cell creatures, aren't they, we've got down here. But we don't know. But this is huge. This is huge, because now every other line segment in the puzzle that has an ending is not a path end, so we have to extend it. And in particular, this one must be the important one. That has to go down. That has to go up. This now can't close here, so this one has to go up. Now, see, that could turn left. We've got to be careful with that one. That one must go there. So this one must go here. The saucepan now goes that way. This goes that way. None of these other things can be the end. This can't be the end. This cell here can't be the end. Oh, but that could go down. Careful. It's still very easy to make an error here. Well, hang on. Now, if row 9, column 2 was the end of the path, then row 8, column 2 would also be an end. And I can't have two ends down here because that row 1, column 1 is definitely an end. So I don't think that is an end, which means it must continue. And now the only cell that can be an end is row 7, column 1. So I'm now going to circle that and push this upwards. Now this has to go upwards. That has to extend. This has to go upwards. I don't know that if that goes upwards, this can't go left, so that must go downwards. This one now is trapped in, so that's got to go there. Now, now what does that mean? Haven't got a clue. Well, let me think. I know that there is a 3 on the path, don't I? What I mean by that is I know that I've got 1 or 2 as the lowest value on the thermo path, and then I'm going to have all of the values 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and then the top cage is either going to be 28 or 29 depending on the value of this. So this cage is a 3 cage. Now I'm just going to double check this though, because I'm a bit worried. One thing I noticed was how many domino cages there are, and if we think about it, a domino cage in Sudoku can contain as low as a 1-2 pair or as much as an 8-9 pair. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There should be 15 cages. 15 dominoes. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's perfect. That's exactly what I thought there should be. So I think maths makes sense. And this is a 1-2 cage. So this is a 4. This is it. Oh, could I have done this a different way then? I didn't see this, but it now... Well, no, I couldn't, because I didn't know the path was going to go back into row 1. But the path going back up into row 1, this has to be a 4 cage, so it has to be a 1 and a 3. That's going to make the corner a 2, which removes our degree of freedom. Because we know that the triangular number for 28 is 406. So that would be if we summed the lowest 28 numbers in the world. I mean, that's one way of expressing it. Now we know if we do 27 numbers and don't include the 1, we will get 405. So that's what we're doing. So now I know that this cage is a 28 cage, definitely. Oh, this is so clever. Kaktuslav is this guy is brilliant. He is a brilliant setter. Let me explain. I now can use the fact that I know there's a 5 cage to know how the path moves. Path can't go there, because this domino could not add up to 5. It couldn't be 2, 3, and it couldn't be 1, 4. So I must go down. This cage adds up to 5, so it must have a 1 or a 2 in it, which must be here. This has to be a 3 or a 4. This is a 2. This is a 1. And then this, okay, now this cage is a 6 cage by my math, and it doesn't have a 2 in it, so it's not 2, 4, so it is 1, 5, so we can do that, which makes that 3, that 1, that 2, that 4, but, careful, this 2, that 3, let's not get the maths wrong, 2 and 3 add up to 5, not 2 and 4, so now let's check, we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 7 cage. It doesn't have a 2 or a 1 in it, so it's a 3, 4, and we know the order. So that's 3, that's 4. This is an 8 cage, and it doesn't. So it must be 1, 2, or 3, which must be here, combining with 5, 6, or 7, which must be here. Okay, that doesn't work. Oh, it's not 3, and it's not 5 then. So that. Okay, well that's how that must work. And then we don't know whether we're going to this one for a 9 cage or that one for a 9 cage. We're definitely not going down though, are we? That's a 4-cell Tetris piece. Even if that contained the minimum digits it could, 1, 2, 3, and 4, they would add up to 10, which is not the next in the sequence. So that must go there. So the whole bottom of the path is now forced. We understand how that works. I know what we're going to do. I'm going to find the biggest 2-cell cage, because I know that's an 8-9 pair. Now where's that? There. That's where it is. That is the last domino before I go into a triomino. So that has to be an 8-9 pair, which adds up to 17. This must be a 7-9 pair to add up to 16. So this is 8, this is 9. This is a 15 cage, so this is either 6-9 or 7, whoopsie, 6-9 or 7-8. This is a 14 cage. So this 14 cage is not 6-8. Because if it was 6-8, there would be no valid combination left for that 15 cage here. It couldn't be 6-9 and it couldn't be 7-8. So that's 5-9, and I know the order. This is just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Right, so that's now become a 7-8 pair. 14. Right. Right, look at the way this has to move. If it went into this cage, this would be a 13 cage. It can't be, because it can't contain 9, 7, or 8. There's no way of doing it. 4, 9, 5, 8, 6, 7, all ruled out. So the cage turns down. This is a 13 cage. It doesn't contain a 9, and it must contain 7 or 8. So this is 7 or 8, this is 5 or 6. And that's a... Okay, so that's 13. This is a 12 cage. Right, this is a 12 cage and can't be 3, 9 or 4, 8. So that's 5, 7, which makes this a 6 and this a 2. Oh, and the 12 cage can't go into an 8 cage, so it must turn up, which means that turns up. And now we must include this cage, so that's the path. We've got the path figured out. It's taken a little time, but we've done it. So this is 12, this is an 11, this is a 10. Oh, that's beautiful. 4, 6 is what's left in the row, so that works perfectly. So this is a 9. I don't know actually. Oh, I've got 4, 5 and 6 left to place in row 2. So this is either 4, 5 or 3. It's not 5, so that's not 4. And this cage was 10. This is an 11 cage, so this is 7, 6 or 5. Not 5, so that's not 6. I've got a 5, 6 pair here. I'm just double checking that is rational. Yeah, so that's where 4 goes in the row. This is an 11 cage, so that's 7, that's 5. This is 8 now. So that's 5 to make 13. This is 6, so this must be 3. And that's 6 and that's 4. And now in this row we need a 4, 6 pair. And in this row we need a 1, 8, 9 triple. But we should know the total of this. This has got to be an 18 cage. I get that digit for free. That's an 8. This is a 1, 9 pair. 18. This... Ooh, okay, this is a 19 cage, 5 cells containing a 9. So the other digits have got to be 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is a 2, 3, 4 triple. That's not 4. This 9 sorts the 1, 9 pair out. That sorts this out. 9, 7, 7, 8. Don't know. So this is a 19. This one is a 20 cage. 4 cells adding to 20. I don't think I can do anything with that. Oh, hang on. Yeah, let's look at this one. That's much more straightforward. That's a 6 cell cage adding to 21. So our triangular numbers tell us they are the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. It's the only way of keeping 6 digits down to 21. So this isn't 1 or 5. Oh, okay, these are not 2, 3 or 4. Bother. Oh, although, right, hang on, there's more to come, isn't there? This is another 6 cell cage, and this adds to 22. There's only one way of doing that. That's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. The 7 of which is going there. So that's relatively straightforward. Let's think about that. Yeah, okay, this is a 4. That's a slightly strange but lovely piece of logic. And that's because I know that these 2 columns here contain exactly 2 4s. That's the nature of Sudoku. There's a 4 in that domino, that's 1 4. There's a 4 in my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple, so that's a second 4. So there can't be any 4s in there. And once there are no 4s in here, where's the 4 in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cage? It's got to be there. So that's 4. This isn't 4. This column needs 2, 3 and 6 into it. I don't quite know what to do with that. But we've got a 22. So this is a 23 cage. It's got a 6 in it, definitely, because there's a 6 down in here. That's a 4 by Sudoku. This is a 2, 3 pair. 5. I don't know. Not sure. Hang on, let me just recapitulate what we know. We know this is 21, this is 22, this is 23. Right, look at that one. That's a 24 cage, but it's only got 3 cells in it. So that's 7, 8, 9. Unfortunately, we don't seem to know anything about 7s, 8s, and 9s. So that's 24. This is 25, and that's the saucepan again. That's a 6-cell cage. 25. Don't know. Okay, this one is a 26 cage. I'm starting to get a bit... This is getting a bit harder now. This is a 27 cage. This is a 28 cage. Now, I know very few things about 28 and 27 cages. I know a 28 cage has to contain 9 and 8. Because imagine it only contained one of those digits. Then the other 3 digits, the most they could be, would be a 9. We could have one of the 9 and 8, and then we could have 7, 6, and 5, which add to 18. And that's not enough. That gets you to 27. It doesn't get you to 28. So 9 and 8 live in here, definitely. A 27 cage has got to have a 9 in it. It doesn't have to have an 8 in it necessarily. Now, oh dear, this is getting harder. What should we do with this? I don't know. Oh, no, I nearly found a good question to ask, but it didn't work. I was going to ask where 1 was in this row, because I saw it couldn't go in those 3 squares. There could be a question like that is worth asking. Let me just ponder that for a moment. I mean, 9 in row 5 has to be in one of those 2. The jackpot would be if we could conclude this couldn't be a 9. Well, no, I want to conclude there's no 9 at all in that cage, because that's a 26 cage, and then I know it would have to be 5, 6, 7, 8. Um, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not sure. I'm feeling a bit dense about that. I think probably... Oh, I tell you what I could do. Can't I work out the value of those cells? Oh, I can. I can use the secret. I'll use the double secret. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to add up to yet, but I definitely know those add up to 90, don't they? And I know that this stuff at the bottom is a 28 and a 27 cage, which is 55. So 60, 70, 76, 14. Ah, that's annoying. 14 is this domino. I know 14 has to contain a 5 or a 6. Oh, hang on, no, it hasn't got a 9 in it. It hasn't got... Oh, that's it. That's it. This is what we had to... This is how... It can't have a 9 in it, because that would be a third 9 in the first 2 columns of the grid. So this is 6, 8. This is now 1, 5. So these 2 squares are 9 and something, aren't 9 and 7? Ah, it's not resolved. 9 and 7. But I must know what this domino adds up to, because this is a 26 cage. So these 2 add up to 12. So it can't be 9 here, because that would need a 3 below it. Right, so that's 7. This is 5. This is 9. This is 7 by Sudoku. Maverick's about to fly over. Hello, Maverick. How are you? The range of logic required to solve this puzzle is fantastic, isn't it? It is fantastic. 9 in row 6. Don't know where it goes, but it's not in those cells, so it's definitely in here, which means these are not 9. Does that help us? Might do. There's no 8 actually. Oh, hang on. That's important. Right. All these games we've been playing with 9s and things, but there can't be an 8 in this cage, or it would be a third 8 in the first 2 columns. So this adds up to 27 without using 8, which I think we've already sort of thought about that. Well, yeah, it's going to be 5, 6, 7, and 9. I don't see how it's not that. And we know these are not 9. I know that isn't 7. I know that isn't 7. So this is a 7-9 pair out of absolutely nowhere. This is a 5-6 pair, which does my 8 and does my 6. So this digit at the bottom by Sudoku is now 7 or 9. And now this cage, which remember this adds up to 28, has no 6 in it. So how are we doing that? We've got 9 plus 8, 17, and we need 11 more, which is not 2, 9 or 3, 8 or 5, 6. So it's 9, 8, 4, 7, this one. So these digits, well, it might as well put them in 4, 7, 8, 9. And this isn't 7. And this isn't 7. So there is definitely a 7 in here. Oh, this probably is. It's probably obvious now, isn't it? I'm just not seeing it. What about that column? That's got to have a 4 in it. So that's got to go there. So this isn't a 4. This isn't a 4. And what should we do next? 5, look, can come out of these cells. 1, 2, 3, and 6. So we have to put an 8. Oh, nearly. There has to be an 8. I can't remember what this one's adding up to. What have we got here? 18, 19. So this is adding up to 20, and it includes an 8. So it's 9, 8, 1, 2. That seems to be forced. So this is a 3, 6. This is now a 2. So this isn't 2. These aren't 2. And okay, I don't really know what to do with that, but there'll be more. There'll be more that we can do, I think. Oh, that can't be a 2. So in this column, we need 1, 5, and 8 into those cells. Can we see anything good there? No. What about that? Oh, that can't be 8. It sees 8. So in this column, we need 1, 2, 3, and 6. Let's put all of. Let's just put it. Let's pencil mark it. See if we can see anything good. Oh, this can't be 6 because we've got a 6 in that domino. What does this one add up to? Oh, this one's 23, isn't it? Yeah, and it's got a 6 in it. And it doesn't have a 7 in it. What else has it not got in it? Ooh, I'm not sure actually. I think that could have a lot of different things in it. That's a slightly terrifying prospect. I can't. So this was 24, so this is 25. Ooh, okay, so this is getting more tricky now. I'm not really sure, at first blush at least, where I'm meant to look. How do we do this? I am trying. I am looking around, trying to spot whatever the next obvious point is. I realise I'm probably failing. It couldn't be... No, it couldn't be, I don't think. I was going to say it couldn't be colouring. this cage, whatever that is, 9 or 8, the saucepan contains the other of 9 and 8. And the saucepan adds up to 25. It contains the other of 9 and 8 in this row. If it contained both 9 and 8, say, then it would break its total. So it doesn't contain both. So this digit is not a 9 or an 8. Yeah, I mean, that's quite interesting. I think that is probably worth observing. So what I'm saying is, if we look at this row, I've got one of 9 and 8 here, and my pencil marking seems to suggest the other is in this domino. If this was a 9 and an 8, that would mean that we had 17 in 2 digits, which would either be those two or these two. And the other 4 digits would add up to at least 10, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, which is 27, which is more than the 25 I'm looking for. So this digit cannot be 9 and 8, which means that where a 9 and 8 in row 8, one of them's here, the other must be there, I think. So now this is 7, this is 9, this is 7, that's 4 in the corner, no song for that. Now these squares don't include 4. I've got an 8-9 pair here. I've got a 6 in one of those. That feels like it might be usable, doesn't it? And I can't remember what this one had to add up to. 20... what was that one? 22. So this is a 23 cage. Actually, I might write that in the corner there, just so I try and remember it. This is a 23 cage. It's got a 6 in it, and then it's got either 8 or 9 in it, but I don't know which. So if it had 8 in it, you'd have 6 and 8 for 14, and then you'd need 3 digits that added up to 9, which it couldn't be 1, 2, 6. Could they be 2? They're probably 2. They can't be 2, 3, 4. So they would be 1, 3, 5. No. Oh no, they could be actually. I was going to say they can't be because of that, but if that was 3, they could be. Oh bother. Oh, okay, so that maybe that's possible. So 8, 6, 1, 3, 5 is one option. Now, if on the other hand we put 9 in here, then the other 3 digits definitely. I've got something. I've got something. Then the other 3 digits add up to 8. Now I don't know what they would be. Actually, I do know what they would be. They would be 1, 2, 5. Because they can't be 1, 3, 4, because I can't put a 4 in this cage. Whoa. So this cage always contains a 5 and always contains a 1 is something I've just learnt about it, which is a very strange conclusion. And the 5 and the 1 have to be in these cells. Where's the 5? Where's the 5? There. That's the answer. It has to be there. And now there's a 1 in one of these. So this is... well, what's that? That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Losing its religion. This is so clever, this puzzle. It's ridiculous. Now, these are... This is a 1, 4, 5 triple now. No, we can keep going. 3, 6, 6, 4. Come on. Yeah, okay. This is now 4. It's a little bit. This is a 2, 3, so that's a 1 apparently. This square seems to be a 6. So this is the 8 or the 9, but we don't know which. So these two, don't tell me they add up to 11. So 23 cage. Oh, they do. They add up to 11, so I don't know. It's either 3, 8 or 2, 9. Bother. Wow, okay, that's still exciting. How do we do the... what do we do now? It's going to be the saucepan, is it? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I really don't know. I worked out that. Oh, hang on. All right, let's pencil mark this row. I've got to put in 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So this is one of those. It's not 5 or 6. This is 1, 2, or 3. Now, that has not helped matters at all, has it? And the sum of this cage was 24. This was a 25 cage. Oh, hang on. I can do Sudoku. Thank goodness for that. I was not looking forward to working out how that worked, but I've got a bit of Sudoku to do. Oh, I've got a 3-6 pair. Right, good. So that's going to help me with the maths on this cage. But let's just double check. Can I do anything better? 3-6 pair here. I don't know, but I'm on 13. So these 3 digits have got to add up to 12. So if that was an 8, this would be a 1-3 pair. That looks maybe possible. And if that's a 9, sorry, if this is a 1 on the other hand, these have to add up to 11, and that would be a 2, and this would be a 9. Which... how does that work then? I don't know. Am I missing... oh, no. I was going to say where's 5 in row 7, but that seemed to be 2 places. If... no, I can't see how to resolve this. Yeah, I'm going to colour them then. Okay, let's colour. What should we do? What should we colour first? 8s and 9s? Yeah, if those were different colours, that would be a 3. That would be good. Let's try that. So this one is green. Oh, that didn't work. Those are the same. So that doesn't look. If obviously if this had been purple some or pink somehow, that would have not been able to be 8 or 9. Okay. Therefore, I don't know. What does that mean? 2s and 3s, can I colour those? Those are the same. I can see that, so that one will make it blue. So there's a blue in there, isn't there? Does that matter? That's the... okay, here is a weird point. There's another way of doing this, and I don't... yeah, I don't actually see. Well, I don't know. Here's what I've spotted, and you can shout at me if I've made a mistake. I have to put blue in row 7. Where's it going? Remember, it's a 2 or a 3. Well, it's not in any of those cells. It can't repeat in its own cage. It's in none of those cells. It's not 7. 1 or 5 is not 2 or 3, so it's there. So that's 2. Therefore, yellow is 3, and that's probably going to do it. 6, 5. Yeah, that's now unwinding itself. This 3 means that was a 9 after all, which means 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 1, 8, 1, 2. Now let's check this adds up. We've got 9, 11, 25. That's perfect. That's perfect. That is an absolutely brilliant puzzle. My goodness me. That is so unbelievably clever, Kaktuslav. I don't know. I think... was it helpful? Well, it may well not have been. I went off on a bit of an excursion around this digit and did a whole load of mental maths that might have been completely unnecessary. But I loved the path drawing. I loved the fact that the path was then resolved by what had to be the cage totals. That is one of the favourite puzzles I've done in the last couple of months. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Loved it. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.